She's a phenomenal woman. Please show some love for Miss Dormetria Thompson, please.
All right.
Where you want to go? You're going to take your time anyway, you know?
Thank you.
See, grab your mic.
Grab a mic. I'll grab a mic.
Okay, now as I'm taking the seat, just please check out the sides. You know?
You should have told me I would have worn
No, I can't have you on my level, okay? This is my show, not yours.
I feel you. I got you.
Okay, talking to the mic, looking to the camera. That's where we at with this, okay?
Right.
But Miss Dormetria Thomas, like I said, she's a phenomenal. Thompson. I apologize. You got to put the P in the middle, okay? She's a phenomenal woman. The reason why I say that is because it's not about the amount of things you do. It's about what you do when you're doing it.
Absolutely.
And everything that this woman touches, I hear nothing but phenomenal things about it, awesome things about it. The first time I met her, I was like, dang, she funny like me. You know, not as funny as me, but funny like me. You know, it's a difference. So please share what I like to call an elevator speech. You know, just give them a quick bio on yourself of what you do, and then lastly we're going to end with where you are now and currently doing. But just give them a little bit about yourself.
1 minute?
No, I mean about 2. You know, because the elevators at our school are kind of slow.
True.
Okay, they're a little slow. Sometimes they get stuck.
They do
So
get stuck.
2 minutes.
You got to get the fire department to come in and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. They ain't gonna come though, because we in the hood.
They're not gonna come.
They ain't gonna come.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. I consider it a privilege and an honor to be here. A quick elevator speech. Let's see. I'm Dormetria Thompson. I've been in Dayton for 10 years. I cannot believe it's been that long. I'm gonna start with this. I actually came as a huge step of faith. I'm not going to church, but I'm just gonna say, I tell people all the time that Dayton has really been good to me. Dayton has been good to me, and came here. People say, why would you come to Dayton? You left the DC area. Why would you come to Dayton? What brought you to Dayton? I get that all the time. And I simply tell them love. Okay. All right. That's how I got here. Happily married, blessed to be married to Earl Maurice Thompson Jr.
That's it right there, y'all. Show us a and the buttercream blazer,
yes, I had a full life before coming here. Very close family, deeply rooted in community, in my church, ministry. I was a lifetime educator, but I moved because I knew it was the right thing to do for us in our journey. It was very sacrificial, literally left everything to come here. The only person I knew before moving here was my husband, well then, fiance, and some of his family members that I connected with before moving here, but I knew it was the right thing to do.
All right.
And as I look back, I say over and over again that I have no regrets, which is a huge blessing. So I'm a graduate, a proud graduate of Howard University, HU, where I was a theater major with a concentration in musical theater. A lot of people in Dayton don't know this, but I performed professionally even before I got to Howard, and then once I got to Howard, I performed professionally internationally, as well as throughout the United States, and even did an episode of Homicide: Life on the Street with the speaking part, and then I took my call in the ministry and felt like, God, how's all that gonna work out? But God has worked it all out. You know, whatever I did, I was trying to figure it out, because I had all these different gifts, and this is not boasting, it just, I couldn't figure it out in my little mind how it all was gonna work. But it has all really worked, and so I feel like even though I'm not even 50 yet, I've had about 5 lives. Because I've been blessed, without a doubt, to do a lot and experience a lot. And so when I moved to Dayton, it took me about a year to get my grounding. It took me a little longer than I thought it was gonna take. I knew I was gonna get involved in the community because that's what I was raised to do, and that's just who I am. But it took me a minute to get grounded and find my own bearing. And so once I did, I just got involved. I knew I was going to serve because that's what I do, and give back to my community. And so I'm an ordained minister as well. I serve at Omega Baptist Church, which I'm so
There'll be no church haters. But you go to a different church.
So grateful for. I was licensed at the age of 29 before moving here, so I came here already in ministry. I'm a lifetime educator. I presently serve at the Omega Community Development Corporation as program director for our after-school program, Scholars of Hope. HOPE stands for Healthy, Optimistic, Prepared, and Educated.
And say it again.
I said HOPE. Okay. Somebody say HOPE.
HOPE. Okay.
It stands for Healthy, Optimistic, Prepared, and Educated. I was blessed. I don't know what it's like to grow up in poverty. I don't know what it's like to grow up in a single-parent household. But what I do believe in is, just as I had a phenomenal public education at 22306, that our kids in 45406 deserve the same high-quality public education experience. So I believe in trying to do everything I can to expose our scholars to high-quality opportunities because they deserve it. They deserve it.
Okay, so let me catch you right there, because you led right to where I want you to be. When we're talking about Omega Baptist Church, and we're talking about the Community Development Corporation, which you're involved in, and we're talking about the after-school program, which I can say I was there a couple times.
Yes, he was with us. This is our second year, and in our first year, he helped out. He was part of our program with our young men, with Marlon Shackelford. So thank you so much for giving back.
It's all right. One thing I want to make sure that we touch on is the importance of a quote-unquote after-school program. The importance of any type of extracurricular outside the walls and the dimensions of a school. Because let's be honest, we talk about things, we do things, we experience things that we can't from 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. It's just things we can't touch. So when you're talking about the life skills, when we're talking about the personal issues, how important is doing an Omega CDC type program at an after-school program?
Definitely. I mean, the mission and the mantra of the Omega CDC is really to give back, not just to Dayton, more specifically to the Northwest area. So while a lot of people have disinvested and moved out of Dayton, and specifically in the Northwest area, the Omega CDC, under the leadership of Reverend Vanessa Oliver Ward, who's our president, we're determined to make a difference where we are. It doesn't make sense for Omega to be right on Salem Avenue, and let's make a difference right there in Fairview Pre-K through 6 school. And so we have made literally an intentional investment in that community. And there's nothing wrong with just being after school and playing basketball or playing football and things like that. But again, from my own life experiences, I know the importance of having high quality opportunities. And that's what our scholars need. I call them scholars because students can decide to drop out. Yeah. When you're a scholar, you're a lifetime learner. Lifetime learner. And so I really believe in giving our scholars opportunities to be experienced and exposed to healthy exposure. I've stopped saying exposure is the key and moved to healthy exposure is the key. Because our kids experience a lot of things and they've been exposed to a lot of things, some of which have not been healthy. And so it is my deep desire and commitment to expose our scholars to as many healthy experiences as possible. I just was sharing before we started, one of the things that we do is a buzzword, and those that are educators, I'm like I said, lifetime educator, we talk about higher frequency words. These are like basic sight words that you're supposed to have based on your grade level. That's fine, but I refuse to dumb down our kids. And so we have a weekly buzzword. These buzzwords are very advanced. I've got kindergarten through 4th grade can tell you what valedictorian means. They can tell you what quarantine means. They can tell you what intrepid means. They can tell you the part of speech and use it in a sentence. And so we're also really big on social emotional learning. So twice a month, our scholars actually go to 4 Paws for Ability, and they read to puppies. That's a win-win audience, right? The puppies, they're about to be service dogs, so they need to practice different kind of people around them. And our scholars need to learn how to read in an in a non-threatening environment, public's gonna say, they're not gonna say, no, you just pronounced that word wrong, right? And so it builds confidence in our kids. And again, we know that standardized testing, there's so much pressure I don't know what that pressure is like as a child, but they're pressured so much to pass a third grade test. If you don't pass a third grade guaranteed test, it means that you're a failure, is what we've told them, and that therefore you have to repeat a grade. And so we focus on the other soft skills, because we know that if you're built up in your self-confidence, you can pass the test. But if your only focus is on passing the test and you've not built up on those softer skills about self-esteem and self-worth and knowing that you are somebody and you're created to do great things, that will help you pass the test. But we do the reverse, and so our program is able to bridge the gap that during the day, again, I've been there, done that. There's so much pressure on our teachers. So much pressure on our administrators, and it's a trickle down, and so there's so much pressure on our children, and so they're not able to really just be kids and just enjoy learning. Our kids need to enjoy learning, enjoy the experience of what it is just to be in school, and so we're able to kind of bridge that gap. I tell them every day, hey, listen, when you get to us at 3 o'clock, it's a brand new start. We have kids in our program who have not been successful during the day. Are y'all hearing me? They've not been successful, have been suspended, et cetera, but they're able to come to our program, hit the reset button, and these same kids who are probably during the day are successful in Scholars of Hope, because I believe they can do it, and we do things differently. And I think all those things can make a difference.
That's awesome.
All right.
You mentioned the word different, and we appreciate you for being different, for being outside the box, and being willing to be uncomfortable in order to reach out and grab the next person. So we appreciate the hope that you're giving to the community, the hope that you're giving to our kids, the hope that you're giving even in ministry, even the hope that you're giving into families with your successful marriage. We appreciate you, Mrs. Thompson. The Boss Talk Show, please show us some love.